All right, what's on the bench today? This was sent into the channel by FNIRSI. It is an intelligent electric soldering iron, a new upgrade. So this one is new. I guess they had an older one. This one has a new display, a in-plane switching IPS high definition screen, and tiny little thing, and a 100-watt power supply. So I'm still getting used to the idea that you can get 100 watts over USB. So this is a USB powered thing. So let's take a look at it. Comes in a nice case here. So this is the actual soldering iron. So it's got a little display in the back, and it has a front section here that bayonets open, and it shows the business end. And then you can bayonet this back on and protect it. And this is all metal, so you can have this super hot and be able to lock it away and put this in your pocket, I guess. That's pretty cool. So, like I said, I get used to the idea of USB-C being able to supply high voltage and high currents, but it can. So this one, I think it comes in different ways. But this one came with the power supply. I think you can buy it without the power supply. This one came with a 100-watt charger. 100 watts. Crazy. So there's two Type-C connections and then one of these red USB. I don't know how those things are. They negotiate and they figure out if you can do high current or you can't do high current. I like the design of this thing because it has the little flip out. I love the little flip out AC thing. But if you flip it back in and you're somewhere else in the world, you can slide this thing on, and now, hey, look at that. It's like German or European, right? Yeah, super cool. And it has a little latch on it. Pull the latch out of the way, and it becomes like this for the US or other places. Okay, so that's the power supply. And it comes with a super, super nice cord. It's pretty slick. It's like a real soft silicone and some nice big chunky connectors on it. So yeah, it looks the part for 100 watts. So that's pretty cool. So what else does it come with? It comes with another thing, which is, I guess you can power it up with some other type of power source. This is a Type-C to 3.5 millimeter connector. Comes with a little soldering holder thing. I'm not a big fan of these, but oops, a little sponge in it and a little flip up thing to put down your hot soldering iron like that. All right, and it comes with a whole bunch of tips. That's pretty nice. So it comes with big fat blade, kind of, I forget what you call these things. The stubby ones at the angle. Oh, there's a name for that. I can never remember the names when I'm on camera. These are one of my favorite tips. I have one of these for my Metcal. It's a pointy one, but it's bent. I find that really, really not useful. I would use this a lot. The bent curved one. Here's another spade type or blade type of thing. And this one is a pointy one. And then the other one is empty because it's in the machine here. So we will play with that one. So lots of tips. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and play with this thing. So there's our little place that we can put it. Oh, I don't really like that. Oh, that's kind of a fail. I guess you can put it like that. Yeah, I guess it's okay. The little bail needs to be just a tiny bit higher. Okay, so let's plug in the supply here and the cord, and we'll get it going. All right, plug in the cord, and we'll get a little display, splash screen that says FNIRSI, and then it has a little thing there that says OK. And then if you push the OK button, then it turns on. And you can see it here temperature ramping up, and it ramps up to the last known temperature setting. And I have it set at 375. A lot of people are going to say, hey, that's way too high. No, it's not. Every single soldering iron I've ever owned is a 700 degree Fahrenheit 700 degree Fahrenheit soldering iron tip. All my met cals are 700, and 375C is about 700. So we're gonna use that. The way that you set that is just the arrow buttons here. So you could do 380, 375. So increments of 5, dink, 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 and we'll go back to 375. So that's the way that works. And otherwise, we're ready to go. So how does it feel in the hand? Okay, the cord is a bit heavy. Okay, so I'm going to loop it over something here. That makes it lighter. I looped it over I looped it over this to kind of keep the thing from pulling down. Otherwise, it'll go off the bench there. Might actually, if I drop this thing, it'll slide off the bench. So this way it won't. So that's okay. The grip, I'm not a big fan of the grip. I wish it had a little bit more bite out of it. Had a little more pronounced waist. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. It is slippery silicone too, so it's a little slippery in the hand. It's kind of triangular shape, so it takes some getting used to where you like to hold it. Okay, but I think it'll be all right. Now that I have that thing way up in the air, it's not cooperating. There we go. So I can set it down. We'll get some solder. We'll get something to solder. Let's just hold this with a vise so it's not going to fly around on me. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we are going to try to solder now, and I have a little board here, and I have a whole bunch of resistors. Quarter watt resistors. So I'm just going to see if I can't solder those down and see how I like it. All right, so that's good. So I'm using Kester solder. This is 6040 Kester 44. Been using it for decades. And yeah, let me clean the tip off over here. All right. So people have asked me about this, so I might as well show it. I don't like wet sponges anymore. I grew up using wet sponges, and I've learned to hate wet sponges. And I use these things now. These Brillo pad things. This one's Heiko 599B. So that's what I use now. And the way that you use the Heiko is you just kind of go in there and makes it nice and clean, just like that. Okay, so let me come over here and see if I can't solder these guys. Oops, leads are kind of in the way. It's okay. It's fairly fast. The heat capacity, I'm never quite sure how to say this. The inertia of heat, whatever that's called, I know there's a term for it, but there's not instant heat. There's just a perceptible lag with reference to my Metcal. The Metcal has no perceptible lag. All right, my camera cut out. I don't know why my camera cut out, but I was in the middle of soldering these resistors down, and it did a great job. There's just the slightest lag between touching the solder to the iron and having it melt. There's just a little bit of heat capacity of the tip, or whatever term that is. There's like an inertia of the heat, and it's just a little bit different than the Metcal. The Metcal is like instant, like it's always got like infinite heat. And this one has just a slightest, just a slightest touch of, you got to wait just a second for the solder to start to melt. Otherwise, once it's going, it's going. So I think it's this intelligent stuff. They kind of throttle down the tip until it senses that it needs heat, and then it like quickly heats up more. And I think it just gives you that perception that's different than another one. Not that it's good or bad, it's just different. And it's quick enough that it wouldn't bother me. Some irons, the lag is so bad it would just drive me nuts. But this isn't too bad. But here's a nice big plate of copper here. I wanted to see if it can. Yeah, see, it's taking some time to try to heat this up. Yeah, it doesn't have it doesn't have a lot of heat capacity, okay? I might try a different tip. Let me do that. Let me try a different tip, see if I can get to, maybe one of the other tips has a bigger thing. So you push the off button here, or the OK button, and it's going to slowly ramp down. Well, not slowly, but as good as it can do, it's going to ramp down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, it went down to idle mode. I guess 330 it thinks it's idle mode. If I hold it down, there we go. If I hold it down, it says turn off. So if you tap it once, it kind of idles. And you hold it down, it goes off. So I am going to remove this tip, and it's going to complain saying, hey, you better put a tip in there. All right, fine. Turn this off so it won't go beep, 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 beep. It's nice that it warns you. Let's see here. What looks like a good big tip for this? What's the biggest one? This one. Maybe this one. We'll try this one. It's one of these big kind of conical things. Anyway, the tips look like this. They have a little kind of a coaxial kind of arrangement, and you put it in there, and then you have to give it a little shove. You'll feel it go in, so you can kind of give it a good shove. There we go. That shoved in all the way, and now I can put my cord back on, and we'll say okay, and we'll watch that one heat up. Now, when you put it on, you might, with one that's not rotationally symmetric, you might pay attention to when you put it in, where you want that flat to be, and it is a bit. Oh, here we go. I got to turn it back up again. Why isn't it? Oh, I think I confused it last time. Let's go up here to. I think I confused what setting to use last time. Okay, 375. All right, so we got 375. It says it's 375. This tip's never been used before. It does seem hot. All right, let's see how it does, see if it does any better. Yeah, it's better. It's definitely giving more heat to the board now. So this isn't objectionable at all. So it's doing a good job. It's doing a good job with a lot of copper area. So yeah, just depends on the tip you're using. The other one was a super fine tip, so there wasn't a lot of surface area, and this one has a lot of surface area, and it heats up very quickly. So yes, I do like it. Would I recommend it? Yeah. I'm not crazy about the ergonomics of the cord. It's always kind of tugging at me. So if I had one of these, I would probably build a little, let's go back out. I would probably build a little thing to kind of manage the cord, to make sure that it wasn't always tugging at me, or it wasn't tugging and making this fall off the bench. And then if I did work on that, fixing that solution, I would also make a little holder that you could plug this into. Now I think they sell one. I think they sell a holder that you can just drop the iron into. So I think they've already addressed that. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with this one because the cord, whatever it's hanging on, is going to lift this up off of the bench. Anyway, you need to work on that. But I think if you had a nice holder where this slipped into, then it wouldn't have been an issue. Because all soldering irons have a cord laying off of them, right? So some better than others. But that's my only complaint, other than the cord management and then the grip. I wish it had a nicer grip, a little bit more indent on the grip. But yeah, it looks like a nice little product, and you get all kinds of stuff with it. So there you go. That's my review of the FNIRSI HS-02 soldering iron. So yeah, looks pretty nice.